Hey guys, welcome back to Deadman1010 and welcome back, welcome to my Summerslam review and, who won and my thoughts on the pay-per-view. Sorry that I couldn't get this video out sooner. I was busy trying to watch Summerslam and then obviously I've been trying to keep my walkthrough series running and everything of that nature. So, yeah, sorry that this video is, pretty much late. But point is, it's here, and you get to find out what I thought of SummerSlam. And in terms of what I did think of SummerSlam, I thought it was an alright show, actually. Like, there was a few surprises that I did not see coming, and then stuff of that curriculum, like we got some title changes, we got some alright matches. My only problem with the show is all the matches were way too short. Like, I think they should have been longer, some of them, in my mind,
Daggum stacked. I was pretty excited for all of the matches.
But, anywho, we're going to be reacting to My Damn Toys' review on the show. And, yeah, I guess you'll get to hear his thoughts and feelings about it as well. But, anywho, continuing on.
Matchups, a few dream matches on here that I was excited for. Specifically, Edge and Seth Rollins, that was probably the one that I was most excited for, but Roman Reigns and John Cena. Lashley and Goldberg, I was kind of intrigued by. You had RK Bro going after the tag titles. A lot of stuff going on at this SummerSlam show. We had a bunch of potential surprises going on in this show. And with the start of the weekend with CM Punk returning to AEW and wrestling in general, I mean, could this show fall flat on its face and us not really care that much? Probably so. I feel like CM Punk has already made the weekend, so hopefully this show will be worth a damn, guys. But I'm going to dive into the whole thing, breaking down all of the action that happened, letting you guys know my thoughts on it and everything like that.
Yeah, I had goosebumps when I saw the video of CM Punk returning and debuting at AEW. Like, it honestly made me feel a different way. It seriously did. But anyway, moving on, guys.
But let's go ahead and dive into this show, letting you guys know exactly what took place at SummerSlam 2021 and find out if this show was any good, really shitty, or somewhere in between. So starting out with the pre-show, guys, we had Big E. So starting out with the pre-show, guys, we did have Big E taking on Baron Corbin, and Trash Corbin, as you guys know,
I didn't end up watching this match. I didn't even realize that this match even happened at SummerSlam, let alone on the pre-show. I feel like Alexa and Eva Marie should have been on the pre-show, but that never happened. But in terms of the highlights that I've seen, it seemed like an alright match. Like, there was no real need for the match or anything of that nature, but, at least they're on the card, Like, can't really say fairer than that, can you?
Steal Big E's Money in the Bank briefcase the other day.
Yeah, that was the storyline going into it.
From, Baron Corbin's been down on his luck, and actually I've enjoyed the character so far. It's actually been my favorite work of Corbin so far. He's actually not that...
Yeah, he honestly has been doing real well in his role, being the poor man kind of deal. Like, I think that has definitely been some of his best work, and I think he has played the part very well, personally. Although apparently this is a real situation. Although there was a video put up of Baron Corbin actually winning the lottery at like a lottery competition recently. So he's happy as hell and stuff of that nature. But anywho, he has been playing the role very well, really. But anywho, guys, continuing on.
Trash right now, even though his gimmick is him being literal in the trash, kind of. However, Big E would go one-on-one with Baron Corbin here.
That is ironic.
Football match, nothing too crazy on the kickoff show, but Big E did win, and he got his Money in the Bank briefcase back. I don't know why, I feel like he's going to cash in on the show. Will that come to fruition? We shall find out. So starting off our main show, guys, we did have the Raw Tag Team Championship match with RK Bro taking on AJ Styles and Omos.
This was a great match, but it was a bit too short. And we never saw the RKO that Randy was supposed to deliver on Omos. which was kind of sad because I was holding out for that, really. But, yeah. Whatever. Maybe it won't happen, maybe it will. We'll just have to see. But I was genuinely holding out for that. But apart from that, a decent match, and RK Bro ended up winning in the exchange. And therefore, they are now the new Raw Tag Team Champions at the time of filming this. They still are. But, or they still are. But, yeah. I'm intrigued to see what happens with them. They've been having a brilliant run so far. I love the tag team. I think they're hilarious. But, yeah. Should be awesome to see where they go from here. And I don't know who they could really face. And as far as the Big E Corbin match, there's nowhere where it can really go. The storyline's pretty much done. Well, Baron Corbin's storyline, not so much, but the storyline between him and Big E is pretty much done, I would say.
And coming into this matchup, I was excited for it. I was happy to see RK Bro going for it, and I figured they would capture the Raw Tag Team Championships, and they did. This was actually a very short matchup. It was intense, though. Like, the crowd was very into it. We didn't get to see a ton of action, I will say. Again, I want to say this matchup was literally, like, I don't know, man. I want to say it was like 8 to 10 minutes. Like, even if it was 8 minutes, it was very, very fast, I felt, but there was some good action in there. Matt Riddle and Randy Orton put their differences aside, and RK Bro win the Raw Tag Team Championships. Very epic moment. Very excited for this to see where they go from here, and just kind of say, I don't know, I like when they pair two random guys together and kind of mix their names together, and this fits for me. I really like it. I love
Wild Remit helped me give you the best start in life,
Oh,
even if I couldn't be there to see it.
Love both talents,
there we go.
Maybe we'll finally get AJ Styles going off on his own now, so that's a double win for me. But RK,
yeah, it would be nice to see AJ back in the main event scene, because that is really where he belongs. But I understand what WWE are trying to do. They're trying to get somebody like Omos, who's a young gun, and they're putting him under the learning tree of AJ Styles, who's like an old gut fighter these days, but he can still go. So I know what they're trying to do, and I do respect what WWE is doing with the team, but yeah, AJ should really be in the main event scene, personally.
Bro does win
That's
the
where he
Raw Tag Team
belongs.
Championships, and I agree with it. Next, of course, we had Alexa Bliss taking on Eva Marie, and Jesus, man, this matchup was not very good.
Like I said, this should have been on the kickoff, but it wasn't, and the match in question wasn't that good. And nothing happened with Lily, and it was pretty much the biggest waste of time ever, really. And had I done like videos and uploaded and premiered them not before I started watching the show, I would have been doing some during that match, because, well, the match in question was just bad. So bad. The only thing it did was break up Eva Marie and Doudrop, which is good, because Doudrop does not need Eva Marie. Eva Marie needs Doudrop. And now they're going into a storyline on their own, which is good. As in, against one another, which is good. And, yeah, that leaves Alexa Bliss now to face Charlotte, which is the type of female wrestler that she should be going against, really, when you think about it, statistically.
Whatsoever with
So I'm
the,
happy that
with
that's
the Lily
happening.
gimmick and the doll and the everything like that, and just the absence of the Fiend, and just, oh man, this one was not very good. Matchup was not good at all. Everything was kind of off. It was just, it wasn't good, man. Not a good matchup, not a good SummerSlam match. I don't know why we were here. Not good, but Alexa Bliss does win, so that's at least something to note in this matchup, and something that we can take.
But, yeah. In terms of where we'll probably go from here, yeah, I think we already realised where we're going from here. Alexa's moving on to Charlotte, and Eva and Doudrop are settling their beef, which is how it should be, really, because Alexa has no time to deal with Eva Marie, as far as I'm concerned. Or at least if I were her, I wouldn't have any time for her. statistically speaking, because Alexa needs to be having good matches, not garbage ones. Like that's what she should be having, good matches instead of bad ones, And obviously that match at SummerSlam was not a good match.
Way that was at least somewhat positive because Alexa Bliss did take care of things, get the victory there. So that is good, but that's about all I can really say, man. I just don't, I don't know how Eva Marie got back into the company, but here we are, man. I don't know. Just keep getting better, I guess. Next up, guys, we have the United States Championship match between Sheamus and Damien Priest. Now, I thought this matchup would be very good coming in.
Yeah, in my opinion, this match hit a home run. It was so good. And, yeah, Damien Priest ended up winning the United States Championship in the midst of all that. And, yeah, they had a good back and forth brawl. And, yeah, I'm glad that Damien Priest is champ, because it proves my point from this past year when Damien Priest eliminated Kane from the Royal Rumble match this year, when I was saying to myself, yeah, this guy has something. This guy could be a major player in the WWE for years to come if WWE book him right, obviously. And now they are. So, yeah, this is finally the opportunity where, Damien Priest can finally get his name in the history books, which is good. Because that's something that he's said numerous occasions on Raw that he wanted to do.
Because of the physical nature of Sheamus and the athleticism of Damien Priest. And this matchup was easily the best matchup so far on the night within the first hour of SummerSlam, man. These two guys put on a fantastic clinic of a matchup. Like, this is what we want when we watch SummerSlam. This is what we want out of main roster pay-per-views right here, man. This is what you want watching WWE, like professional wrestling. This is the kind of matches that we want to see. What a great matchup between Priest and Sheamus. At the end of the night, man, Damien Priest is going to capture the United States Championship. So we have a new United States Champion in Damien Priest. While I'm not the biggest fan of the guy, he put on a show right here, and this is a great way to put the, the up-and-comer over here at SummerSlam with Sheamus and everything like that, man. What a great matchup. What a great showing for both men. There was one moment in the matchup where Damien Priest went over the top rope, and it looked kind of scary. It looked like he was going to get necked by the apron. It looked very terrifying. I'm not going to lie to you, but they recovered well. The back and forth, the near falls, just really good stuff between these two, and the chemistry was off the charts. What a great matchup, man. Just a great matchup. If you missed this match, you definitely got to go check it out, but a huge...
Definitely one of Sheamus's best matches in his long, illustrious career. And for Damien Priest, definitely one of his best matches so far in his young WWE career. Definitely one of his best matches so far.
Congrats to Damien Priest on winning the U.S. Championship, and it was a great run by Sheamus to hold the title for the time that he did, actually. Next up, guys, was the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match between the Usos taking on the Mysterios.
And in terms of where I think we could go from there for Damien and Sheamus, they'll probably end up continuing their beef, but now Drew McIntyre is back in the main event scene, so now, and Bobby Lashley's, doing its thing on Raw, the four men are pretty much they're pretty much intertwined with each other seemingly at this stage. I feel like Raw won't be the last time that we'll see those four guys in the ring together. That's what I feel like. But anyway, moving on to the next match, Rey versus Usos, and yeah, this match was a brilliant match. A lot of back and forth, a lot of everything. Don't like how it was just Rey defending himself at the end there when he got super kicked galore and frog splash galore. But hey ho, it is what it is, and Usos retain, which I guess is fine if You know, they're trying to keep the bloodline strong. I accept that. And stuff of that nature. Would have been nice to see Dominik and Rey as SmackDown Tag Team Champs again. Personally. Be it the fact that it's Dominik's 1 year... Well, it was Dominik's 1 year anniversary from debuting at SummerSlam a year prior to this match. But either way, I'm glad that, you know, the Usos retained anyway, you know. Because, obviously, if they want to keep the bloodline strong, then they need to make sure that all gold is around all three weights of those guys. Roman, Jay, and Jimmy. Even though Jimmy, I'm not sure, really deserves it. But we're not going to get into that. But either way, point is, good match and acceptable winners and acceptable reasons on why they won. And in terms of where they could go from here, I'm not really sure. I feel like they're just going to have multiple matches, but then it could get boring after a while. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen really with the Usos, but I'm excited to find out either way.
In Rey and Dominik Mysterio, Rey and Dominik were rocking sick AF Macho Man inspired gear. Rey Mysterio's was more Macho Man inspired, but both of them were rocking this pink and yellow and white and black gear. Very sick. Very, very sick. I hope we get elites of that, or at least an elite of Rey Mysterio in that gear. It was very beautiful. Please give that... Please give that to us. That's all I have to say about that gear right there. But this matchup was fun. I had a lot of fun with this matchup. Very good tag team match. I mean, I expected it. The timing was good.
I never realized that Rey and Dominik were wearing that attire. Pretty sweet attire, I'm not going to lie. Then again, Rey always has sweet attires. That's just how he rolls. That's part of his character, really. And also, another thing, damn, do Rey and Dominik and the Usos have good chemistry together. Like, they genuinely do have good chemistry.
Back and forths were great. The near falls were great. The Usos looked really good in this matchup. Dominik getting better and better every single time he gets in the ring. And it was a fun one. The Usos do retain the SmackDown Tag Team Championships as they should. I agree with that. I would have predicted them to do so as well. I haven't done predictions for a pay-per-view in a little bit now. It just hasn't been a priority for me. However, this matchup was fun. I had a lot of fun with this one, and the Usos do retain, and I think it was the right move. The tag team divisions on both of these shows is just something like, I don't know, WWE Tag Team Wrestling, while it can be good, man, there's just not good, solid divisions. Next up, guys, was a SmackDown Women's Championship match between Bianca
Especially with the women as well.
Sasha Banks.
But anyway, speaking of women, we now have the next match, Sasha versus Bianca for SmackDown Women's Championship. Or did we? Because obviously Sasha, for whatever reason, could not compete, so therefore Carmella was trying to take her place. Fans were booing this match out the building because we had already seen it on SmackDown the night prior to SummerSlam, so rightfully so for booing this match out the building. And then you'll see what happens next, because it's a surprise.
It was announced that Sasha Banks would not be able to compete. So I don't know what that was. I don't know if it was COVID-related issue. I don't know what the deal was, Brad, but she was out of there. So Sasha Banks was out, and it was announced that Carmella would be taking her place, getting this SmackDown Women's Championship opportunity versus Bianca. I thought that was very lackluster. You know, I was like, oh, that's very lackluster when you compare, you know, Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair, what should have happened. So I was pretty disappointed in it. However, right when the matchup is about to kick off, Brad, the man Becky Lynch returns. Becky Lynch is here.
God save the Queen. Like, when Becky came out, like, I was like, oh my God. And then what followed was what I thought was going to be a 20-minute match, but turns out it was borderline 20 seconds, maybe a little longer than that, but either way, borderline 20 seconds of a match. And Becky just straight up bulldozes through Bianca and gets the SmackDown Women's title for possibly the third time now, I think.
She takes out Carmella, throws her out of the ring, throws her into the steel steps, and basically says, how about the EST and the man tear this fucking roof off? And everybody's going hyped, and the matchup is on, and we have Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Now, this was a great moment. Becky Lynch returns. You guys know that she's my favorite women's wrestler in all of WWE, so this was a great moment for me.
She's definitely one of mine favorites as well.
So Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair, that's a great matchup on paper. I was excited for it, Brad. They shake hands. Becky throat punches her, hits her with this like rock bottom style move, and 1, 2, 3 defeat.
Yeah, it was like a manhandle slam. I don't know why she has that move. It's not really that it's not really that good, to be honest with you. Like it just doesn't work. And then after that, like I said, Becky shockingly gets the SmackDown Women's title.
It's Bianca Belair in like 3 seconds, bro. I don't know what their thinking was here, Brad, but I didn't agree with this whatsoever. And I'm one of the biggest Lynch fans you'll find. Like, I think she's that good, but no way, shape, or form is this how this should have went down, man. Not at all. Like, absolutely not. I don't know where the thinking comes from this. I'm not sure. Like, time doesn't even make sense. Like, there's no reason that you should have sacrificed. You know, I know it's Becky Lynch. Like, I get it. I understand it. But there's no reason you should have fed Bianca this way and had her lose like that. That made no sense to me. I don't know, man. Just wasn't a fan of that whatsoever. I want to know what you guys think about that, but that...
Yeah, that was unfortunate for Bianca, I'm not gonna lie. Like, just unfortunate. And in terms of where we could go from here, Becky's obviously gonna appear on SmackDown, and Bianca's gonna have a whole lot of things to say about it.
That was not the way to book that. There was way better ways to do it, but at the end of the night, Becky Lynch is your new SmackDown Women's Champion, which I'm okay with. I'm completely okay with Becky winning. I'm completely okay with her winning that and coming back here and making this awesome moment, but to defeat Bianca like that, I don't know, man. Not my cup of tea. It seemed like Twitter was in agreement that crossed the line there, Bradley. That definitely crossed the line, but Bianca Belair loses the championship to Becky Lynch, and I don't know what the hell we do from here, but that was just completely out of nowhere. Didn't see that coming, but I am happy for Becky Lynch's return, but Bianca did something dirty right there, Brad. Next up, guys, we had Drew McIntyre taking on Jinder Mahal in a matchup that I really didn't care about because I was so dumbfounded by the Bianca Belair situation still that it kind of just sucked the life out of the show, I feel like, you know? Like, I understand, you know, she was kind of distracted, you know? It was kind of like a, oh my god, like I'm shaking hands and then bam, I'm hitting the face and then bam, it's over in the blink of an eye. Like, I get that, but there was just, I don't know why you did it that way, bro. I don't know what's going on, but this matchup, I didn't really pay attention to much of it, but Drew...
Yeah, this match was alright, but I feel like there should have been more, to be fair. Like, with this match, I feel like there should have been more, really. But it was cool to see, you know, Drew McIntyre swing the sword about, I guess. But obviously nobody's heads or anything of that agenda was going to get chopped off, because obviously it's a PG show. But either way, the match in question was alright. Jinder unfortunately lost. But yeah, now Drew's back in the main event scene, which I don't know how many fans are happy about it, but it's just how it goes, I guess. Not that I'm saying that I don't like Drew McIntyre. Like, the guy's awesome. Like, I'm definitely a big fan of him. But either way, like, there comes a time and a place where, you know, you want to be doing other things other than, you know, being in the main event scene, or fans are gonna, you know, turn on him and get tired of him and whatnot, you know, and then later end up booing him, which I'm sure that's not what WWE wants, and I'm sure that's not what Drew wants, really. But either way, I guess we've already found out where it goes from here. Jinder's basically taking out people like Mansoor again, and Drew's in the main event scene. So, yeah, completely different paths, unfortunately. So, yeah, kind of sad, but, you know, what you gonna do?
McIntyre does defeat Jinder Mahal. This isn't a very good SummerSlam matchup right here. It was just one of those matches that's like, you know, why they're feuding. It's just a thing. Not the most investment for me, Brad, so I don't know. It was what it was. Didn't really care for it. But Jinder Mahal does lose to Drew McIntyre, as he should. I do agree with the loss there. However, Drew McIntyre defeats Jinder Mahal. Not much else more to say. Next up was our Triple Threat Raw Women's Championship match. Nikki.
Yeah, this match was, it was an alright match. I was mostly doing uploading and premiering during the match, but I was still keeping an eye and hearing about what was going on in the match. And in terms of, what I think about it, it was an alright match. Like, it's nothing that special, but then it's not that bad either. But the winner in question shouldn't have been Charlotte. Like, come on, Vince. Like, how many titles are you going to throw at her? Seriously. Like, it's getting beyond a joke now. Beyond a joke. Seriously. But, either way, like I said, the match went alright, and thankfully Nikki Ash has not got the title anymore, because she was not befitting of being Raw Women's Champion, but I also didn't want Charlotte to get it either. At the very least, Rhea Ripley should have gotten it. Like, I know that her title reign was a bit lackluster the first time around, but like, at least it would have been in the hands of somebody where fans wouldn't get that wound up about it. But yeah, they're gonna get wound up now, especially social media. Now that Charlotte's Raw Women's Champion again. And now she's going to be going against Alexa Bliss at some stage, I guess. Which is going to be a lot of fun. I've been waiting for that. Hopefully Alexa sends Charlotte down quite a few pegs, but it probably won't happen. Knowing WWE. But I digress. Either way, the match was alright. The winner, not so much. And where we will go from here, well, we've kind of already figured that out. They've all gone their separate ways. Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash are apparently now a tag team. I don't know why. Don't ask me. I don't write this stuff. I just simply watch it. And then Charlotte's obviously back in the main event scene and now going against Alexa with a championship around her waist. Unfortunately.
Ash, Charlotte, and Rhea Ripley. One of the matches on the night that I just did not care for, man. Did not care for this matchup one bit. It just didn't move the needle for me. And honestly, I know why after the result. Like, I don't care if this was a 5-star classic. It wasn't a 5-star classic. It was what it was. It wasn't bad or anything, but Jesus Christ, man. Charlotte Flair wins another women's championship. I mean, dude, what is there for her to do? She might as well go to AEW and join Andrade. I mean, what is the deal here? I don't know. It's just, it's so lifeless. It's so boring to me. I don't enjoy it. I would like to go to sleep. This matchup did nothing for me. And at the end of the day, Brad, Charlotte Flair is another champion yet again. Yet again, champion. I mean, I don't know what to say. I really don't even know what to say. I'm speechless at this point. Another championship for Charlotte. It looks like we're setting up Becky versus Charlotte at Survivor Series already, is what it seems like. But
maybe.
Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch both holding gold at the end of the night. I'm over this one, man. I don't know why she needed this one, but you see how good that gimmick did for Nikki? Got her a title and then fed it right back to Charlotte. Next up, guys, was the matchup that I was most looking forward to. We had Edge and...
This match was amazing. Storytelling, athletic ability, like everything was just off the charts. Now this is a 5-star classic. And yeah, Edge ended up winning, thankfully. And he brought back the Brood music, and then he ended up having his own entrance music as well on top of all that, which was great. Like, it honestly was really, really cool. And then Seth Rollins had a different attire, as he always does. And it's always inspired by something, but this time I had no idea what it was. And neither can I remember what it was. But either way, Edge naturally comes out with the win, and yeah, brilliant match. And in terms of where we'll go from there, I don't think this will be the last time that these guys will face, truly. Like, we'll probably get it at, like, the next pay-per-view, like Extreme Rules or something, but either way, brilliant match, and brilliant build, and brilliant, well, everything, really.
And Seth Rollins, two of my favorite guys going head-to-head right here, man. This was a matchup that this is just a dream match, right? This is a fantasy match for a ton of people, and I think it lived up to the hype. If you guys missed this match, you definitely need to go check it out. Great back and forth, great chemistry. It was as good as you might imagine, you know? It's just one of those matchups when you think Edge, you think Seth Rollins, this is about what you would get, man. However, I did not see this finish coming. First of all, I thought Seth Rollins was going to beat Edge. I for sure thought that would be the case, but Edge beat Seth Rollins by submission. Going to that dark place, it played into the storyline. He beat Seth Rollins' face into the mat and allowed him to choke him out to tap, which was very shocking. I did not see that coming whatsoever, but that is the move that they went with. Very interesting indeed. It definitely worked. You know, I don't have any issues with it per se. I just think I would have preferred Seth Rollins win. You know, give the nod there, a little passing of the torch to Seth Rollins. But I guess since Edge is still sticking around and it's not just this one-off match, he is still part of the main roster and everything. I can understand it, but this matchup was a slapper. It definitely slapped. It was good stuff, and I highly recommend you go check it out. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. Just a very fun, classic wrestling matchup here at SummerSlam. Edge also had the Brood entrance, which was super sick. It had me popping super hard. He had this sick red and black gear on. Seth Rollins was rocking this very weird gear. I thought it was very weird. It kind of reminded me of like a pirate. It had like some black and gold glitter. His kick pads were white, and then like the left side of it had like this flaring knee pad. It was very odd attire. It still looked good. It's just not one of my favorite gears he's worn at SummerSlam for sure. But it was a fun one. It was a little fun one there, and Seth Rollins does.
Discover new music every Friday with YouTube Music's release playlist.
Tap out to Edge, and Edge does win. So I'm excited to see where we go from here and everything, but I thought that Seth Rollins would be in position for the Universal Championship following this. So now I don't know what's going on. Maybe we get another matchup. I don't know. It seems that we will have to find out, but that was a classic banger. Next up, guys, was the WWE Championship match between Bobby Lashley and Goldberg. In a matchup I was not looking forward to whatsoever. You know, I just wasn't looking forward to it. I don't appreciate Goldberg in this day and age. Coming back for these matches, like, why are we doing this still? I thought it was cool 5 years ago or whatever it was when him and Brock had their first rematch at WrestleMania 33. After that, man, I was pretty much over it. We didn't need the 100 other comebacks. This matchup was weird. It definitely lasted longer than typical Goldberg matches, but they threw the match out because he got injured, which was pretty lame.
Yeah, the match in question, Goldberg versus Lashley for the World Heavyweight title, like, the match was, I gotta give Goldberg credit, like, he definitely looked in brilliant shape, and I mean, like, the match in question was definitely not that bad than I feel like some people probably make it out to be, personally. And it was also not your typical Goldberg match, which was definitely strange. And the way that they ended it was also sort of a bit lazy, really. Like, it kind of was, but then storyline perspective, it kind of did make sense. And then Bobby Lashley, after the match, just went to town on Goldberg and used the chair to try and nail Goldberg pretty much ruthlessly, and it definitely looked hard to watch, I'm not gonna lie. And then Goldberg's son Gage, who's basically 15 or something, basically comes out and tries to get Lashley from behind, and then he delivers the hurt lock on the poor kid, and that was that. Lashley retains, and he left Goldberg and his son in, well, a mess.
I thought it was very odd. So then Bobby Lashley started beating up Goldberg with the chair, and the crowd started popping for it because, you know, he was injuring him more. Then he put the Hurt Locker on his son, and they popped for that too, which was hilarious. But all this points to me that we are getting another matchup between these two at Crown Jewel or in Saudi. That's at least what it's telling me. That's just kind of the vibe I'm getting off of this. What we got out of this matchup at SummerSlam. Not looking forward to it, you know, don't want to see any more of it, but that's what we got. I thought we were going to get a Big E cash-in or something. That was not the case, but Bobby Lashley's still your champion, and I did enjoy him, you know, assaulting Goldberg and locking in the Hurt Locker on his son. I thought that was pretty good work. And for our main event, ladies and gentlemen, the Universal Championship match, John Cena and Roman Reigns, the GOAT versus... Looking forward to it, you know, don't want to see any more of it, but that's what we got. I thought we were going to get a Big E cash-in or something. That was not the case, but pop for that too, which was hilarious. But all this points to me that we are getting another matchup between these two at Crown Jewel or in Saudi. That's at least what it's telling me. That's just kind of the vibe.
Yeah, that will probably be what we will get, guys. Like, we will probably get that at Saudi, because apparently that will be happening in October of this year, so that will most likely happen, to be completely honest. Especially when Goldberg said, "I will kill you." So, yeah, his contract's renewed. Put it that way. And, yeah. Looks like we'll be getting another match between these two in, like, 2 months' time. At the time of filming this. It looks that way anyway. Or looks that way anyway. But anyway, moving on.
Getting off of this, what we got out of this matchup at SummerSlam. Not looking forward to it, you know, don't want to see any more of it, but that's what we got. I thought we were going to get a Big E cash-in or something. That was not the case, but Bobby Lashley's still your champion, and I did enjoy him, you know, assaulting Goldberg and locking in the Hurt Locker on his son. I thought that was pretty good work. And for our main event, ladies and gentlemen, the Universal Championship match.
This match was a great match, and it may well be seen as last based on what I've been hearing with what people have been saying about the match. And yeah, it may well be seen as last. And yeah, what a way to go out if you're John Cena. Like, putting over Roman Reigns, being in a title match, which he's legendary, which he's pretty much known for these days. Like, dude, You just can't go better than that. You really, really cannot. And yeah, in terms of what I think about the match, it was great. And in terms of where we'll go from here, well, you'll find out soon. John's gonna obviously go back to Hollywood, but Roman, on the other hand, has got a challenge and a half awaiting him, and you will find out in a little bit.
John Cena and Roman Reigns, the GOAT versus the Big Dog, the Tribal Chief. Matchup I was looking forward to a lot. You know, I love the promos that we got between these two. The build wasn't the greatest, but the promos were good. The matchup was solid as well.
Yeah, the build could have been better. I don't know why they inserted Finn Balor into there, to be honest. But either way, they did it. So, you know, you can't really harp on the past. Point is, the build wasn't the greatest, the match was brilliant, and I've already told you guys, well, we'll go from there.
Very ground and pound, very hard-hitting back and forth. Roman Reigns was dominant in this thing. He looked really good. We had a lot of great near falls and some great matchups. It was just a solid little match, you know. I don't think it was anything just spectacular. It gave me a lot of vibes. I would say like a lesser version of AJ Styles and John Cena's matches that they used to have when AJ Styles was, you know, battling for the WWE Championship and vice versa. That is kind of what this reminded me of, but not quite that level. It wasn't as good as that, I would say. However, both men took a lot of punishment in this thing. After about 3 Superman punches, a Super AA, some great back and forth, 3 or 4 spears, man, John Cena does finally go down. Roman Reigns retains the Universal Championship over John Cena. Definitely the right call. I like this call for this. You know, Roman Reigns, yeah, he didn't need to lose it. There's no reason for him to lose this.
Yeah, it would have been great for Cena to win his 17th title, but he doesn't need it. He doesn't need it, but Roman, on the other hand, he needs the title.
This thing, he's been built up beautifully. Continue this on. There's no reason in that right now. And I think I'm going to stay on that train, man. I just don't see anybody knocking him off. However, I think the big shock of the night, Brad, was after the matchup. Brock Lesnar's music hits and out comes.
I swear, guys, I was shook when that moment happened. Like, Paul Heyman was apparently having some sort of a heart attack or nearly did or was going to. And I was saying, and this is what Michael Cole said on commentary, by the way, and I was saying, I'm surprised I didn't have a heart attack from that, or like a stroke, because of how monumental that was. Like, it was complete insanity, which was even quoted by Michael Cole himself on commentary. So, yeah, insane. And, yeah, I was shook. I had to process that for like 5 or 10 minutes. Like, it was mental. It was mental. And it's obviously going to build towards Lesnar versus Reigns, perhaps at Extreme Rules. And Brock's basically now got a new look. He's a bit more older. He's got a ponytail. I like it. At first I didn't like it, but I'm starting to get used to it now, guys. So you can't really hate on me for that. So there you go. But point is, the only thing I didn't like about the return is the fact that Brock's aging. That bothers me. Because like a decade ago, he returned to the WWE for the first time in 8 years. And he looked so different compared to what he looks now with his new look that he's got going on these days. So different. But apart from that, brilliant return, and I have a good feeling where it's going to lead, like I already said.
Comes the Beast. He's got his little man ponytail. He looked like a John Brand. I don't know, man. He looked insane. He looked like a monster. He had the big sleeveless tee. He looked like a big country boy coming down to the ring in his jeans and his belt, and he just looked like an assassin. He looked like he was going to murder somebody. He stares down with Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns leaves. Paul Heyman's freaking out. So it looks like we will be getting Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns yet again. The saga continues here, and it should be very interesting considering the past that we've had between these two, the Paul Heyman element, the dominance of both of these guys. Very crazy. What an insane turn of events. I don't know if CM Punk had anything to do.
And what's even more interesting is after the show, guys, and I ended up watching this on WWE's YouTube, is Brock was basically obliterating John Cena for like a good few minutes. And what's ironic about it is it was almost reminiscent of 7 years ago when they had that infamous match at SummerSlam 2014 when John Cena took 16 Germans from Lesnar. So it was almost reminiscent of that, like exactly, and everything. Like it legit almost was. Just the guys were older now, and obviously 7 years have gone by. So fast as well. But either way, that's one thing to point out as well, guys. There was that also happened, and that was after the show went off the air. So fans live would have got to see it, and if you watched WWE's YouTube channel, you guys would have got to see it just like I did. So yeah, basically that's what ended up happening, and there you go. And it did make me think of SummerSlam 2014 when John Cena took that assault by Lesnar, but 7 years ago. But either way, moving on.
Do with the Brock Lesnar and Becky Lynch returns. I'm not sure if that's even a thing. I don't know. I wouldn't imagine so, but you never know with WWE and Vince McMahon. But overall, man, the show had some cool surprises and some cool moments here and there, but it also had its duds for sure. A lot of questionable things. At the end of the night, I enjoyed the show. It was just so long. I felt like I rotted there forever, but I loved
it. It was definitely not a perfect show, but it was still a great show. That's all I can say, really.
Brock Lesnar's return. I loved the main event. I loved Edge versus Seth. I loved Becky Lynch's return. I did not like her squashing Bianca Belair like that. The tag team matches were solid. The U.S. title match was really good. But at the end of the day, bro, Brock Lesnar's back. Becky Lynch is back, and it's insane. It was absolutely insane. I was like, oh my God. And it's always nice to see surprises like that. So wrestling is going crazy right now. With CM Punk and Brock Lesnar and Becky Lynch all returning all the same weekend. Absolute insanity. Tomorrow.
Yeah, that's that's just insane, the fact that all those returns happened. Like, wrestling right now is at its biggest, like, at its best right now. Because you got CM Punk back, you got Lesnar back, you got Becky back, you got Edge, you know, doing his thing. You had Cena in a main event match again. You had Roman and his dominance. Like, the list goes on and on and on and on. Legit. Like, I'm not even joking with you guys. Oh, sugar, that wasn't meant to happen. Well, it doesn't matter. He was going to cut the video anyway, guys. I think I've generally covered it. But anyway, guys, if you guys enjoyed this episode, then like, comment, subscribe, share these videos. If we could get out to 60 likes, that'd be great. And yeah, ciao, guys.